Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching from and when you're watching this video. Um, for those of you who are a member or those of you who have been coming for a long time, I say thanks for always staying around. And then for those of you who are just maybe coming across my video for the first time, I'm here where I educate people on how to trade forex market, synthetic market, or crypto market using tools that are very easy to make you understand what the algorithm is doing and how you can approach the system or the platform and then make money out of it. So here is the new upgrade of my SMC Pro. This is mainly for those of you who want to understand how to trade and make money, because you can't start trading within 1 year and make billions of naira. It's not possible, or millions of naira. It takes a process and consistency. So to make those process and make your earning consistent, we come up with tools that can assist you understand things that you can't even see with your naked eyes that are present on the chart. So with the help of these tools, you'll be able to identify how to approach the market, when to enter, and then probably when to also exit the trade. So on today's video, I'm just going to introduce you to the new upgrade, tell you how it works, show you what market really does, right? Where the money is in the market. That means where you should always expect high rate of winning, because the market is broad, or the chart is so broad that if you are not well informed, you will make series of mistakes, and then these mistakes will cost you a lot of money. That is why till today, some people have not even really make that much, but they have spent so much either learning or probably losing to these brokers, all in the name of trading. So if you have not given up and you are still into the system of understanding how it works, then here's another opportunity for you to grab. So I'm just going to show you the interface of how this thing works. I'm going to explain every bit of the information here so that you'll be able to understand that this is not just a regular system for trading, right? This is not just anyhow system for trading. Now it is called the SMC Pro. The reason why I gave it SMC Pro is we use some vital SMC logic in programming this system, breaking it down that even if you are a new trader, within 2 days you can understand and then start seeing progress as time goes on, right? So the system is very complex. When I mean complex, it holds a lot of information that on a normal day, if you are to be using your eyes to check the chart as a beginner, you might miss so many things. But with the help of this system, it breaks down the information for you, tells you where and when to expect an opportunity, right? So it's a multi-pair scanner. That means it doesn't care if you are a forex trader, if you are a crypto trader, or you are a synthetic trader. Now, let's say you trade crypto, forex, and at the same time synthetic. What you just do is you come here and then you enter the pair names, right? You enter it. Either you want it to scan gold, you want it to scan volatility 75 index on deriv, and then if you want it to scan BTC for you, any pair, you just enter them at this point. Then once you enter them, immediately you click OK, they will display information, and then it will analyze every pair and give you information on which area is safe for you, even sending signals down to your mobile phone, right? It sends signals down to your mobile phone. I'll show you how it's going to look like when it's sent to your mobile phone. So kindly stay tuned and make sure you understand how these things work. If you have been observing or you have been watching my video previously, this is a big difference. This one is way bigger than any other one we've done in the past. So it's use multi-time frame. That means you can decide to choose any time frame of yours, the highest one you want, the middle one you want, and the lowest one you want, right? So it's a multi-time frame system. Exactly. So you can decide to choose from your weekly, your daily as the highest, use your 4 hour, your 1 hour as the middle, then use your 5 minutes or 15 minutes as the lowest. As you click it, you'll be able to enter it. That is all on that aspect. Now every other thing should be remain like this. Don't tamper with it. The only thing you can change here is this, right? Where we have show strong only. That means you show setups that are strong only, or let it show everything so that you select manually. Exactly. So if I don't want it to give me all signals, even those ones that are not up to standard, I can just easily say, okay, no, I don't want you to give me signals that are not up to standard, which has a low probability. So what I want are signals that has high probability. So I'll just come, then I'll decide to put this on and then put this off. That means the ones that has, sorry, I'll put this off on, then put this off. So every signal that is not up to what I want is not going to come up. I'm not going to receive message on them. Exactly. Already the system is programmed to only send scores that are systems that settings or signals that has high probability. So if you just do this here, it also filter out some the ones you are going to be seeing on the screen. So after that, don't tamper with any other thing, right? Just leave it the way it is. And then the next thing you click OK, it's going to reflect on your dashboard or your chart like this. But currently, I did not use multi-time frame. I'm sorry, multi-pair. I only decide to put, you can see when you come to the input section, right? When you come to the input section, you notice that there is no pair in that list. The reason why I cleaned or deleted every page, I don't want it to scan any other pair. Why is it important for you to figure out a single pair? Now, it reduces risk and you can easily identify high setups. So you as a beginner who is still new in trading and you are picking so many pairs just because the system has ability to scan multiple pairs, automatically it will be difficult for you to understand when there is a good setup and when there is a less setup. Is that clear? So as it is now, it is on boom 600 and every pair, every analysis, every signal you see here telling you sell buy are all under boom 600. I'm going to tell you why you can see some say sell and buy because they are varies and the positions they have or their entry form or entry digits are also varies. They are pending signals here. Why we also have active signals. You can check here. You see at this top here we have active. That means we only have 3 active signals at the moment. 1, 2, 3. Then we have about 4 pending signals. These are signals that price has not probably getting to where they are, but the setup is available. So you see you have advantage of deciding to wait for the pending signals if they have more advantage based on the analysis I'm going to share with you on how the system analyze everything and how it figure out high probability setup. So with these pending signals, you can decide to pick one that you know that is of high probability and then you can monitor it manually from your own end. That doesn't mean that if the system is on or your BPS, for those of you who be using mobile phone, is on, the signal is still going to pop up on your mobile phone. Are you getting now? So it's a thing of choice where you want to pick your signal from. But what matters most is what signal is this thing looking for? How does it figure out its signals? What are the factors or confluence that are put together to filter and determine the probability of a particular signal? If it's going to be of high probability or a moderate probability or a low probability, what are the confluence put together by this system to figure out a particular signal and send a message across, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about next. So as it is now, on the active signal, let's discuss on what we have on ground here. On the active signal, it says sell, right? The signal is sell. It gives us an entry level around here, right? It gives us TP1, TP2, and then TP3. From the look of thing, I can see that TP1, TP2 has been hit, right? So which means we only have TP3 running. Now you can't just say because it is TP3 or is running and then you immediately place signal. No, that is going to be a very wrong approach. Fine, we accept that we can see the signal, but what matters most is when you come to this section, this is where the whole drama occur. You see what we have here is every signal you see on the left hand side of your chart. This system makes sure it analyzes them step by step, then tell you why is it high probability, what are the confluence, that means what are the factors which you who is a new trader will be very difficult for you to understand. For you to understand if signal is going to go, you need to understand so many concepts in trading, either understanding market structure, understanding liquidity, understanding time zone. That means if you are the forex trader type, when the window for a particular pair is open for you to trade, what are the kind of uh, factors you need to put together. So before you start doing all these things, it can take you up to 2-3 hours, except maybe you are fast in learning and then you are doing better. But with doing 1 minute, the system has all these things that is taking you time to factor or phantom. The system has already done that, and it will give you the output, that means the result, and send you the message ASAP. So this is the advantage of using softwares like this. It is trading for you. It dedicates your mind, or it makes you focus on a particular point. But when you don't understand trading, you'll be forced to start moving from one point to the other because you don't even know what you are doing from the first instance. So that being said, the system has already analyzed every signal here, both the pending and then the active. So let's take a look at this boom 600 active signal, which is it's on 15 minutes time frame, right? The signal is on 15 minutes time frame, and then it has given us different information about the signal. The first is it told us the pattern. It told us that this signal currently is using the rally. You can see the third TP has been hit. Just as I'm talking, the third TP has also been hit. So it tells you the pattern, right? It tells you the pattern which the signal is using. Currently, it's using what we call the rally base drop. I'm going to explain deeply. That's why you need to pay attention from the beginning till the end. He said he's using rally base drop, rally base then drop approach. And on the higher time frame, our higher time frame is 4 hours from the input section. He said price on the higher time frame, what is the position of price as at when this signal started dropping or when the signal pops up? He said price was, I believe it must be at the middle, maybe between the 50 level of the higher time frame or a particular key level of the higher time frame. But as at now that I'm telling you now, it is at the discount zone buy base. That means price is at the extreme lower point of our H4. So this area is not safe for sale at this moment. That is why you see it's telling us that conflict RDB is a sell signal, right? That means it's occurring in a discount position. RDB is a sell signal, but currently this setup is at a discount of your H4. The pattern is okay, but where it is matter in your H4. This is why most of you lose money, right? Using RSI. We are still going to do the practical aspect. So it's telling you now that if you open sell initially, be ready to close it, because where price is now, spike can call. This is on synthetic indices. And it's on boom. So if you are trading sell this moment, be ready to close that trade, because at any moment from now, spike can come. What is the reason why? Because price is currently at the discount zone of that your higher time frame. So the sell and the discount zone is conflicting. An RDB signal is supposed to be at a premium level of, if not at your premium level, probably at the equilibrium level. Then it reduces the risk of losing that trade. But if your RDB, which is a sell signal, is at the discount level of your higher time frame, the chances that price might go against you is very high. Are you getting it? So it's just telling you that, hey, the setup is good, fine, but where the setup occur or the position of this particular signal is not at a safe zone in your higher time frame, because this is 15-minute signal now. Though everything we want, in fact, most of the information we need for trading it is active, is available. We have over 70% of this information is available. But the problem is, if you're going to be trading this signal, you need to trade with caution, reduce your position, and reduce your lot size. So that is just the advantage of understanding the information from this aspect, right? So that is for the active trade currently running. Now, one other thing again this software has, you can see when you check here, you see these two buttons here is for scrolling more information on your smart scanner. While we also have another similar button here. Once you click the downside, if there's any other information or any other signal at the extreme end, it definitely rule down, then you'll be able to see it clearly. Is that clear? Then if you want to hide the analyzer, once you just click here, it's going to hide, right? When you click it, it will pop up again. So now let's scroll and see other signals. Now we have a buy setup here. Look at it. It says buy setup, boom, 600 index, and then it's telling us buy on 15 minutes again. You can see that we have a 15-minute sell signal and a buy signal on 15 minutes. Now let's go through the information. It said the pattern drop base rally. I'm going to show you as this pattern looks like on the chart. For those of you who are new, for those who have been trading for a while, they understand what it means. He said this pattern now on this same 15 minutes is there, right? The pattern is available. You can see, yes, the pattern is available. Then it says your HTF POS, that means where is this pattern formed in your higher time frame? He said it's formed in your discount zone, which is currently where price is now, right? So this is a signal where you should monitor, probably follow up, and then look for a buy opportunity once you get a signal like this. So telling you that there is a buy opportunity coming up, or price at a discount level where you can get a buy setup. So I'm going to show you, and I'm also going to explain to you. So for this buy is there, but let's check the criteria. There are some other things. I'm going to show you all the information about this confluence. I'm going to explain each of them bit by bit to you. So the first one, the pattern is there. Where the pattern is formed is also aligning with your higher time frame, because it's at a discount zone and it's a buy signal. So it's very, very, very much okay, right? It's very, very much okay. Now, there are other factors missing. Is there any HTF, that means any key level of the higher time frame, regardless of the fact that it's at the discount level, where this pattern form on your higher time frame? Are there backup factors that increases the probability of the signal? Is there your higher time frame Fibonacci, any of your key level Fibonacci level within that point? The signal said no, for now there is none, and you need two for it to be a good signal, but as it is now, there is none. On your MTF, you need one, there is none. On your low LTF, lower time frame, it still has no any level yet. So even buying this signal at the moment is way danger than the sell we saw initially. So that sell will definitely overtake that buy. The fact that it's at a discount level and all these factors are not present makes the sell has upper hand over this buy. So you don't just buy because it is at a discount level. You have to check other factors. If it is in the favor of that buy, if it's not in the favor of that buy, you have to pause that signal, or you have to just omit, leave it and look for the ones that has relevant details. Because if we should go back to what we have sell, right, you notice that there are so many factors that favored it on that sell. Now, the first factor is the fact that there was a pattern, but it didn't align. That's why your number two here is saying no. He said, is there a HTF Fibonacci which can push price down? Yes, there's a HTF Fibonacci level around that point. And it's within that point that the institution order, which make that signal triggered on 15 minutes, is valid. We have it there. Then the third one says there's also your MTF. That means your middle time frame has a Fibonacci level, which means probably price went to mitigate or retest a particular zone and price is coming down. We're going to check the chart as well, but let's just first decode all this information. I'm still going to show you. It has a PDF. So that you don't feel these are regular indicators you just get and then you start messing up. No, we are not dealing with RSI, all this lagging stuff here. This is pure price action and how you can grab it, have that understanding so fast as a beginner. Then the fourth one, is there a lower time frame Fibonacci? Yes. So you can see this moment, the sell is very certain. That's why price was able to hit TP1, TP2, and then finally hit TP3. It didn't just hit TP1, TP2, TP3. It was because at this moment this signal formed, the factors that push this signal to excel or to get to these levels were available. This is why you need to know which signal has high probability and which signal has low probability. You don't just trade because you see people trading, right? You don't just buy, say, okay, I want to buy because you see people buying. No, it doesn't work that way. Then we move to another factor, right? He said, is there any season which we needed 1 point from? He said there's no season. That means avoid low liquidity. Despite that fact is these other factors are available, it means that the bias for sell was not too much, right? The bias for sell was not too much. In a case like this, price only went to probably uh retest a zone. So it's more or less like a ranging. If you check the higher time frame, it looks like it's ranging because there's no volatility movement there. There's no much bias, but definitely it all later ended favoring that signal because we have so much factor from the higher time frame to the lower time frame, which was backing up that signal at that moment. Then the fourth one, he said pair season for synthetic indices. They run 24 hours. It's a 24-hour market, so it doesn't matter if it's London section, New York section, or Asian section. So it's definitely going to favor. Was there liquidity sweep? He said yes. The system was able to track liquidity sweep, which is this smart money move. It was able to track it. Thirdly, say, was there a change of character which requires two? He said yes, there was a change of character. 2 points was gotten from that aspect. Now he said no zoom quality. That means it was at a weak zoom quality. Now even checking here, you see this O here means it is at a zoom. The probability was very low, but nevertheless, other factor helped the system, helped the signal to scale through. But then if you check this buy, you see it's showing star. That star means it's a strong zone, meaning that zone is exactly where it's supposed to occur. That signal for that buy, that is where it's supposed to occur. But at the end of the day, the factors that favor the sell, which it was not in the right zone, ended up not favoring the buy, which has the right zone. So you can see reasons why sometimes you buy at a point, you don't know why it favors you. So when you try doing it next time, you lose the trade. These are things you can't see with your mere eyes on the chart, except things like this help you to determine and see them clearly. Then lastly, he said news. Since this is deriv, we don't have news issue, so it's going to be yes. We're not expecting high impact news. If we are expecting high impact news, automatically it's going to tell us that there's high impact news, so we should not trade. It's going to block the signal even from coming to your mobile phone until after the news. So you see why we are able to see the reason why this trade hit TP1, TP2, and TP3 on 15 minutes, because the whole setup starts. Now, one thing you should know that sometime before you see TP1, this trade might be on pending, and while you're still watching the market, price will hit TP1. So on it coming to active, it's already on take profit 1. It now remains take profit 2 and take profit 3. Are you getting me? So that when you just open your chart and you notice a trade comes and it's showing TP1, whereas it was initially at pending. It means it has been observing that trade. The system has been observing that trade. It was when it noticed it hit TP1, it finally decided to push it up to the active section. That okay, this trade, I'm monitoring it, and while I was waiting for other factor, it has tried to hit TP1. Let's observe it or keep observing it. You might hit TP2, TP3 from that particular point, right? So sometimes it is even safer to pick your signals from the pending session while you follow up, so that you have more confidence. I'm not saying the active trades are not okay. I'm just giving you other alternatives. So now you've understand how these things play out. Signal that a particular setup can be at a zone which you are trying to be safe, but given the fact that other factors responsible, which supposed to go against it, ended up favoring it, it will make your trade go successfully. While sometimes it will be at a zone where you are even expecting it to buy, it will end up failing. Why? Because the setup or the factors are supposed to aid it to go in your favor were not present. So on the norms, if you are just a new trader, it will be difficult for you to decode. This is about 9 to out of 13 points, out of 13 factors or confluence, the system was able to detect 10. So, and if you are a new trader, you would need to read each trade you are seeing, or each factors here has its own concept. Each factors has its concept, pattern has its concept. You need to understand the pattern. That is a separate thing you can do for weeks or probably months before you get it clearly. 2, we have liquidity, we have Fibonacci, 3 Fibonacci setup. So how can you decode once at the same time, except things like this help you out, right? So that aside, now I've given you an intro on how it looks. Now let's go to the chart. Let's see what really transpired on the chart, and let's see why it favored sell rather than buy. Let me zoom up a bit. So this is on H1, right? And on H1, there's about 3 Fibonacci right on this chart. The H4 Fibonacci is here. I'm sorry, yes, that's the highest time frame. The MTF, which is H1 Fibonacci, is here. Then the 15-minute Fibonacci is here. Now, let's start with the H4, right? Let's start with the H4. If you look at clearly, the H4 Fibonacci, which is supposed to be the entry point, the 23 level was present at that level. The MTF, which is the H1, was present there, and then the last one there. But what are they doing there? Why is it favored there? Is it because of the Fibonacci? No, it's not because of the Fibonacci. The first thing that comes up was the pattern, right? The pattern first before the Fibonacci. Now, this is where we are going to go to the normal distance, and let me show you how the pattern look like. Now, it's a sell signal, right? Which we expect the price to drop. This is where you understand what they call institution order. When you have been institution order, for those of you who are new traders, where is the money in this chart? There are places where there's money. So if you are not so vast in terms of how to understand how traders or the institution move, it will be difficult for you. That is why some people will come, they'll tell you SMC is a scam. SMC is not a scam. It all depends on how you keep yourself consistent in understanding what the traders and institutions do, right? The retail traders and institutions do. Now, let me show you the pattern was drop rally base, abi? No, rally base drop. Rally base drop. Now, this is it here. At first, rally means price was going up, right? Price was buying at this point with volume, not just buying. There was so much impulse. So it get to a point here. It didn't come down. It didn't go up. It didn't come down. it didn't go up. That means it didn't break the high. It was more or less like a ranging time. Probably it took out a low, then the next move, it went straight to this point. Now, this is where the pattern has formed. We are going to see it on the chart. You are going to see all these things on the chart as I'm explaining to you right away. So this is where the pattern has already formed, right? Now, here, the system now say, okay, since I've noticed what happened, it's going to mark this point out for you, telling you that this institution still have orders left. Because when they create this thing, they move with force from that point, telling you they have planted something here. So they will come back for it. And the only way you can get it is when the system tracks it for you, you wait, let them come back there, let price come back there. That is where you too will take out your own profit from. So immediately price gets to that point, what do we notice next? Because of orders that are left there, in fact, if price is coming back, they don't just come back with full force. They come back, they can even create another base, right? They'll create another base here. That means you see some sort of consolidation. Then the Judas swing will take out liquidity again, or sometimes they don't even take out liquidity, right? And once they are done, you see them, they'll first make a massive move out of that point, come like a retest. They won't go straight to where the order is immediately. That is the problem. They won't come down to the point where the order is. They must definitely plant it there so that when they are coming back, they know that yes, they have something to pick here, right? Price come back again, gradually. Immediately it taps here. This is where we start looking for sell opportunity, because already they've given us a scenario, they've given us a pattern, they've told us that this is what they wanted to do. And it is usually suitable and more profitable if you identify this on higher time frame, like your 4 hour, your 1 hour. Your 15 minutes should only be for confirmation, except you want to scalp the signal from 15 minutes. But if you are still going to scalp it from 15 minutes, make sure it is coming from one of your higher time frame. Don't make that mistake of using 15 minutes for 15 minutes. Exactly. Don't use 15 minutes for that. Means the signal shouldn't form on 15 minutes time frame, and then you still use your 15 minutes time frame for entry. If you want to do it, you should use your 1 minute or at most your 5 minutes for that 15 minutes time frame, so that it will make you some profit, even if price is definitely going to go against you. At the end of the day, you scalp out a little profit. So immediately price taps into here, you don't open the sell automatically. Sometime it may just happen, then it may bounce back to the 15% of the fib or any key level available for retest. If it has mission to keep going up, it continue to buy, or it can even come back, still pick the remaining order, and then finally start pushing up. But what matters most here is waiting for the confirmation. In fact, you are not even waiting, because the system definitely is going to picture it out, right? The system is going to picture it out. It's going to detect it. Yours is just go, observe the trade, and when it gets to that particular zone, you definitely modify and then you trade it. How do you modify? You use your 15 minutes. Immediately price taps into that zone. Don't immediately place your orders, so that if you have a little equity, you don't end up losing it totally. Are you getting it? So that you don't end up losing it totally. So what you're going to do here is, once price taps into that zone, wait for your 15 minutes to show you a change of character. I'm not saying you should watch the chart. If there's a change of character, your scanner is going to detail it to you. So price comes in, if it has not changed character, if it has not signaled a change of character in your system under the confluence, don't trade it, so that it don't affect your little equity. Also wait for liquidity sweep, right? Wait for liquidity sweep, wait for change of character, and then other factors available. Now, also make sure that there is 1 or 2 key level from the higher time frame, like your H4 or H1, whichever higher time frame, around that zone, because it also increases the confidence and the settings. Like you see what happened on that boom 600. You see why a sell signal pushed more and scaled through up to the first, second, and third TP. Why the buy automatically has not even started, and there's no factor to back it up. There's no confidence to back the buy, despite that it is in the H4 discount zone. So the zone doesn't matter much. It matters, but it's what makes it more superb, or what makes that signal more stronger, are the factors available within the period where that signal is there. So while you are also watching your pending orders, that means these signals that have not taken effect, check, are there factors from this H1, H4 that is within that range where this pattern has formed to show how strong that zone is? If no, that signal, despite that it's in your H4 discount zone, doesn't mean that immediately price taps in is going to start buying immediately. So these are things you don't know and you don't normally easily see on your chart, right? So that is why you should see why it took time to put out this signal, this new software, and why I believe so much that even if you are a learner, you can make much more profit from it. Exactly. So this is how the pattern do form. Now, this is called rally. Rally means price was busy buying. Then the base, this is rally. This was the base, and then this is the drop, right? This last swing is the drop. So rally base drop is for sale. Why base rally? Sorry, base rally drop is for buy, because on the base, that is where the order is, the pending order the price is coming to take. Take note, the base is where the pending order always lies. That means where you see all these things that look like M, that uh, range, right? That consolidation, that tight range. Now, why do we so much believe that these areas has much effect? Now, when we go further, talking about support and resistance, this area, before price breaks this area, you can see that it took price, right? It was very difficult for price to break it. So this is area of support and resistance. Initially, it was acting as support, then finally broke through the support all the way down, right? So before price will break that point, it's going to be difficult. That is why when they pick the order, they dropped down, price dropped down, right? But make sure that other factors are included. Don't just base it on this single factor, because trading has to do with confluence. That is just the truth. You can't use a particular concept to win your trade. It's possible. Just because it's a support doesn't mean it will always be support. Support flips to resistance, resistance flips to support. So in this case, the fact that that place has been a very difficult point for price to break through, then there's high probability that when price comes, there's going to also find it difficult to just break through it easily, right? So this is where you leverage on that. Then based on the orders also left here, so there are many factors that increases the probability of your trade that you are going to win it. And if at most what you experience at the moment is probably a little drawdown, then the next thing it fall back to profit. Now, if you master this approach and you figure out all these factors, how they stay within the particular zone, you will see yourself winning your trade. Only the only point you lose trade is if you are too greedy to hit all your TP. You don't do that. Forget that you have TP1, TP2, TP3. Even if before price hit your TP1, it has made you 10, 15 or $20. Close it. There are still many signals available, right? The system is going to be bombarding you with signals. So yours is just to check the one that is accurate, just the way I'm explaining to you now. Then you trade it. That is all, nothing more. Then when it comes to the base again, also make sure that there are other factors. You set some factors necessary. Now, do you know why I'm so happy with this system? The system is more practical, right? It is what you see you are going to trade. So what you saw yesterday that made you win yesterday trade, if you see the same setup today, there's high chances that you're also going to win that trade. That is just it, because these things are repetition on the chart. They keep repeating, they keep repeating. So there's no new thing that's going to come again. These things keep repeating. All yours is to master the factors that put you in profit the last time. When you see that same factor again, then you apply it. So, and when you keep doing that, you see yourself making more profit. And even though it happens to give you loss, it will be very minimal, knowing that you will win 10 trade, probably lose one or two out of that 10, then you are already above average, right? So that is just how this whole thing work. Now we've talked about the pattern and how you can easily identify them on the chart. Now let me now go to the PDF, because it is important that I also add a PDF, right? So that you should know every signal's interpretation. It doesn't look like you give us the software, we can't even tell what this particular signal is, how it look like, what the signal when the pop up on your phone, how it looks like. Now, introduction to the SVA engine, right? That means Smart Voice Analyzer. The Smart Voice Analyzer is the core intelligence engine built into the advanced MTF SMC Fibo Scanner Pro 8. It evaluates market structure, time and price theory, institutional liquidity, and higher time frame narrative to generate a defense definitive confluence score out of 13 points. Rather than blindly taking every supply and demand zone, the SVA filter out low probability setup and then highlight high quality institutional footprint. The SVA confluence factor explained every trade signal is broken down into multi-technical factors. Below is the detailed breakdown of each parameter the algorithm checks before using a verdict, right? So the pattern first, pattern, that is pattern and HTF position. So what I told you earlier on, when the pattern form on the position of, or is it at the discount part or the premium, and what signal is it telling you to trade? Is it a buy or a sell? Are you getting? So that is what this number one is telling you. Meaning the system identify the base structure, the RBD, that means rally base drop, rally base drop to supply sell zone, and drop base rally to what? To demand zone, right? That is buy zone. It then checks where this pattern occur relative to the higher time frame. That means not on the lower time frame, higher time frame range. Premium zone 85%, upward upper mid, which is 62 to 85%, approaching premium, good for taking partial profit or aggressive reversal. Equilibrium within 45 to 62%, fair value gap, that is neutral territory, requiring heavy confirmation. That means you don't just because it's on equilibrium. On that equilibrium, is going to favor the buyer. Is that going to favor the buyers or the seller? So you should be mindful of what entry you're going to make, or totally avoid any equilibrium signal. Why discount is within the lower mid is 25 to 45%. Then discount zone, when you say price has gotten to a discount zone, it should be at least 25%. Price should be 25% price cheap, optimal for drop based rally, right? Then two, pattern alignment. Check for logical synergy between the pattern and the HTF position. A buy drop setup is perfectly aligned when found in a discount zone. A sell setup is perfectly aligned in a premium zone. If a buy signal occurs in a premium zone, the system flag a pattern versus HTF conflict. So anytime you see pattern versus HTF conflict, it means the signal occur in a wrong zone, right? Somebody who's supposed to be in primary 3 is sitting in primary 2. What is he doing there? Right? So that is what is telling that, okay, this thing is not balanced. So this person is not supposed to be here. But at the end of the day, it might end up favoring that person if the factors within that zone is on its favor rather to be against its favor. So you need to also check. That is why I showed you what happened on Boom 600. Boom 600 was at a discount zone of the HTF, that means the higher time frame. But at the end of the day, the factors within that point favored it. Just like in real life, you might be somewhere you're not supposed to be, but at the end of the day, it will end up favoring you. even where you feel you are going to make it, you are not making it there, but where you feel it's going to be difficult for you to make it, you ended up excelling there. So that is just in practical term, that is what he's trying to tell you. But I'm not saying you should always go against the instruction, but make sure that even though you're going to go against it, have reasons, see factors that seems not to be favoring it, and factor that seems not to be favoring, and then factor that also ended up favoring it. Then number 3, HTF, MTF, and LTF Fibonacci alignment. Is there any alignment that is still under the factors that favors the signal? Meaning the algorithm measures price against institutional Fibonacci retracement levels across multiple time frames. Confluence points are awarded if the entry price aligns with a key level like the the golden zone level, that's golden ratio, optimal trend entry, all those OTEs, deep OTEs, right? That is point of reversals. Then 4, season and pair timing, meaning time is just as important as price is in SMC. That is why people love trading when there's more volatility in the market during trading section. So the same way, what is it called? The same way price is important, timing is also important when it comes to trading. So high volume season added 1 point, ensures that the trade occurs during prime market hours like London Open, New York Open, or overlap period. That is the Frankfurt system of trading. Then pair specific season, right? Ensure the specific currency is active, e.g. JPY pairs during the Tokyo, London, Tokyo overlap, or USD pair during the London and US section. So you can see that when you add all these things together, they make your probability of winning a particular trade more higher. Are you getting me now? So you don't just trade like a blind terminus. Then we go further by liquidity sweep and change of character, meaning these are the ultimate confirmations of smart money footprint. Liquidity sweep verifies that retail stops losses have been hunted prior to the signal generation. Then change of character confirms a structural shift in the momentum in the direction of the trade on the lower time frame. So when liquidity is taken out and there's a change of character, usually trade usually goes on that direction because the stop hunt has been taken out and it's going to fuel the move towards that direction. Then zone quality, yes, is it low or has strength? Strong zone validates by a strong impulse candle. That means where that setup or pattern occur, we can find a candle that shows momentum. There was a push showing that the smart decision are in action during the period where the pattern formed, right? So that area is also checked out and then is given a particular point. Confirm that the base, which is imbalance, that there's a base, that means leaving an imbalance which we expect price to come and pick orders from later at the end of the day. Then news filter, this is usually for those who are trading currency pair. Integrates with the MT5 economic calendar. It awards points if the trading window is clear of high volume impact news. If news is detected, the SV actively block the trade to protect capital. That means if it senses that there is a news coming up, it's definitely going to block that signal from coming to you. So point 3, setup probability explain. Based on the final score out of 13, the SV classify trade into strict probability ties. 7 to 13, that means if 7 of these 13 factors are in place, it tells you that it is a high probability setup, right? Exclusive full size, that means if you can put whatever you feel like you want to put, number of lot size or number of position you want to open, you are free. But I will tell you for free that it still doesn't mean that you should just be very, very careless. Still try as much as possible to trade with caution. Then 60 points, moderate, that means reduce your lot size or probably reduce the number of position you want to trade. 4 to 5 point weak, risk or skip, insufficient confidence, you are trading against the higher time frame narrative or during a dead volume season. That means there is no momentum. So in such case, just skip that market and ignore it. 0 to 3, don't trade. In fact, this one, don't even go close to it. Once you see it, assume you didn't see it, right? Stay off totally. Then no, 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 no. Do not trade high impact macroeconomy news incoming. Exactly. Technical analysis is void during these volatile spikes. Then signal type, active, pending, and safe. The system has signal type, active, pending, and safe. Pending signals, the algorithm has detected a high probability SMC structure, order block, supply and demand that has not yet been mitigated, touched by price. Place your limit orders here or set alerts to watch price action as it approaches. That is for pending signals, where you can easily put your pending limit. Then for active signal, price has entered the zone, that is the point of interest. This is the execution phase. The SVA will push a notification including the zone in active execution phase. The SVA will push, okay. Then saved signals through persistence memory. The system saved old historical zones even if the chart is closed or MT5 restart. While these zones may have already played out, they serve as crucial historical reference points, support, resistance, flip, or deep liquidity pool for advanced top-down analysis. Now, the alert system, how does the alert look like? You can see this is an alert telling you that price at the zone. It tells you that high probability 70%. It tells you the price at the zone, the peer name. It tells you the direction. Tells you the time frame. Tells you the entry type. If it's a buy zone, sell zone, or in bar. There's another signal or another SMC feature in this system, which is called the inside bar, right? If it is an inside bar, it's going to tell you it's an inside bar. So that is the entry type. Then it's going to tell you the score 9/13. Then pattern is going to tell you which pattern is it. Since it's a buy, it's going to be drop base rally. That means price drop created a base. So that base now is where the order is. When price come there, you rally into it. Price drop into that point, we want to rally up. Then it will tell you if it is at a HTF. You can see just from the alert alone, information has been given you. So it might even cost you, okay, when you look at it, if it's not something that is expected, that's why it has high signal. If it is going to counter what you want to trade, based on the information, you just ignore it. You don't have to open until you see a signal from your mobile phone that aligns with what you already understand on the chart. That is when you just decide to go to your chart and then do a little check before you place your trade so that you don't end up losing your money. So alignment, DBR, discount, perfect alignment, clear, no event fund. That means there's no news coming. Then if you give you your TP1, your TP2, your SL and everything. So that is how the signal of an active trade looks like. Meaning this alert tells the trader that price has just hit an active demand zone on GBP/USD. The overall score is an excellent score, which is 9/13. The pattern is perfectly aligned because a buy signal appears in the HTF discount zone and the macroeconomic calendar is clear. That means no upcoming news. When to avoid a signal, even with a high score. Yes, there are times where the signal has a high score, right? When you look at the score, oh, this is 9/10. What 9/13 or 10/13? Definitely, let me start placing orders straight up. But not knowing that that signal is a death trap. Now, there are critical moments where the SVA will warn you to avoid a trade regardless of how many confidence points it scores on the lower time frame. The two primary reasons for this are microeconomy news. That means if it is on forex pair, if there's upcoming news, it will warn you that The setup is so clear, but at this point there is news coming up. So the best thing is to ignore it, despite that there is high probability that if you had traded it, it will go your way. But because that spike that occurred during news section can definitely go against you and then hit you out of the market. Or sorry, macro economic news event and pattern versus HTF conflict. Yes, another reason is you might have a good score, but the pattern and the HTF where a sell is occurring at a discount zone, right? A sell setup is occurring at a discount zone, or a buy setup is occurring at a premium zone. So you can see that it's conflicting. The system will tell you there's an error or there's an issue. Except probably you just want to trade it by all means, or you understand some extra factors which you believe is going to work towards your own direction. Then the retail trap pattern versus HTF conflict. A classic retail trap occurs when a clear structural pattern form in the wrong, you see now I told you it's a trap, in the wrong high time frame zone. For example, the scanner might detect a beautiful rally base drop, which is sell pattern on M15 time frame. However, if this pattern forms deep inside the HTF discount zone, selling is extremely dangerous because institutional smart money is preparing to buy at this cheap price. That is just what I told you now. A sell forming in a discount section, a discount zone. A sell forming there. So you that used to use RSI and other lagging indicator, your RSI will tell you, this is a sell, price want to break the base or the demand zone. So you start pumping in orders or placing more order. At the end of the day, you don't know that they want to use that order to sweep the liquidity and then they finally buy all the way up. So these are definitely traps that people who are new to trading normally encounter, and at the end of the day, they fall for it. Then lastly, yeah, look at this is the drawing pattern. You can see a premium setup at a discount zone, right? A premium setup at a discount zone. So this is a wrong move, a totally wrong move. While we proceed to the alert to avoid, you can see we also come up with an alert telling you that high probability 70% plus pending alert entry Euro USD direction sell time frame 15 minutes. Entry type sell zone, score 8/13, pattern rally based drop which is for sell, confirm. HTF, this is where you know that there's a problem. Pattern versus HTF conflict. That means the pattern formed at the wrong part of the HTF side. So at this point, it will tell you to what? Ignore it. It will still give you the details. Probably you want to go and trade it, but already it has already shown you a red flag on it. But truth be told, sometimes trade always end. Some of these trades end up even making more win than those ones in their zone. And why? I told you, just like what we saw on that boom 600, where this same scenario happened. A sell was forming at H H4, right? It was forming at H4 base. But if we had gone down to the middle time frame and check, maybe that pattern ended up forming at a very good base of the MTF, which is the H1. So sometimes it might give you this and later go well. Why? Because on the middle time frame, the position was at a very good point. So in cases like this, don't just ignore. Try and check where the zone from. Is it your H1 discount level or premium level? So in such situation, you can just scalp it. Since it aligns with the MTF, but it is against the HTF. It aligned with the middle time frame, but it was against the, so you can just scalp it if there are other necessary factors that backed it up. But if not, ignore and then run. Exactly. So why to avoid this setup? Even though the setup scored a high 8/13, you must skip this trade for two critical reasons shown in the alert. Pattern conflict. you are trying to sell while price is at the discount zone, the higher the time frame trade, the higher time frame trend is preparing for a bullish reversal, meaning your sell order is likely providing liquidity for institutional buyers. That is why I told you that they will use you as liquidity because they know what they are doing. These things are things I believe when you watch YouTubes, right? They explain all these things, but in a real life sense, you don't get it. But with the way I'm breaking it down for you now, even though you are new, you should start understanding, okay, it is possible one can be used as liquidity while trading. Yes, how would they use it as liquidity? These are patterns that form at the wrong zones, right? That's why you can see a sell forming at a discount zone. It means it's a liquidity setup. So you that don't know what trading is all about, and you just decide to venture into trading just because you see people trading, you end up becoming liquidity. They will use you and then they will figure you out of the market. And the next thing you say, oh, SMC is a scam, right? Or trading is a scam. No, trading is not a scam. It depends on the level of information you have at hand, right? So that's why I said with the software, just master these things I'm telling you. Don't be eager to quickly start using your money. If you can, that is if you can afford the subscription, right? Because I'm not selling the software, it is based on subscription. So that being said, that is we have, as every trader, we have disclaimer that you should be careful so that you don't see this and then think you've jam uh overall this thing. No, you just have to put caution. It's for educational purpose to enlighten you the more. Probably things you are doing wrongly, you change it and then do it right. And then not just only that, I provide you with the tools that will guide you. You can still see that if you had placed a buy on this setup, this boom 600, right? Because the sell told you it's not going to work out. But truth be told, it's still very risky because any moment now they can be spike. Price has getting to almost 70, okay, 23 of the middle time frame, which is the brown Fibonacci level. So it can just take out liquidity there now, and then you see a push up, right? So, and you can see from the indication, it favored the seller way more than the buyer. And I told you factors that were surrounding it was favoring the buyer and the sellers. And if we should check again, look at the setup very well, you will notice that this thing formed around the H1 premium level, right? The H1 premium level, where the setup form from 15 minutes was where there was more of sell. All this zone you are seeing here, all those zones are the setup zones. So try to view it or you open a new chart very well. But if you want to view it, you see it. And if it's a pending order, it will also give you areas where you should put the pending order. So at this point, price can trigger a buy from here. That is why when we checked it, it told us clearly, you can see it told us that it's conflicting. That this pattern you are seeing is conflicting with the H4. Now let's even check what is happening on the H4 and then let's see why it is saying that the pattern is not favoring the H4. You can see that H4, that is the discount level, right? That place is, you can see it's like price is ranging. It's trying to create a base to push out from. So if you are not careful at this point, it can hit you off, except probably maybe the daily time frame has a key level there that is also retested. So the chances that price may bounce from here high. So if you don't understand it or you don't have things like this, you just end up keep selling and keep selling. The next thing you see a spike, believing it will drop, it will just go and keep going all the way up. So as at this point, it is at the discount level. In fact, the extreme end of the H4, right? The extreme end of the H4, that is where it is forming. So it is not at a point where we'll be expecting price to what? Reverse. Exactly. So these are one reasons why you should be careful and then master it. It's not something difficult. The signal will come just like what you saw. So it is now you to follow it up how it came up. And you can see the chart pattern here. I told you earlier on that if it is in a sell situation on your higher time frame, we want to see a kind of accumulation, right? We want to see accumulation of orders. Sometimes it will create a Judas swing, like I told you, then immediately come back and then you see a massive drop all the way down. So for this is a good sell situation in your higher time frame. So if you want to sell, you are looking for sell that you know that you want high probability win on that sell. Like most of you trade boom and crash now. If you want to sell crash to catch spikes, these are the kind of settings you should be looking for sell. Then for the boom, we need to see a market move like this accumulating again at the lower end, right? At the lower end. Then after taking out liquidity, immediately it closes inside and then it fires all the way up. Are you getting it? So once it fires up, it's already telling you that on the retouch, it's going to make sense. So here now becomes your demand zone where you're expecting price to come, and then use your 15 minutes for what? Entry. Now this move that is coming up now, we definitely retrace a little bit. So it is this is a base for sell, and make sure it is at the premium zone of your higher time frame. You can use any pair for your higher time frame. It is not mandatory that you choose a particular pair, but make sure that the pair you have chosen as your higher time frame have a lower time frame for confirmation. Don't use that same pair for entry. Exactly. Because price can break above it. Yeah. So in this case, this is a good sell zone if it is at your premium, and if it is at your discount, it's a good buy zone. Then the next things are just mere factors which the system will tell you when there is a change of character, when there is a liquidity sweep from your 15-minute time frame, and then you start engaging yourself in the trade. So you can see that the pattern is not the issue. The system is able to detect it, and yours is just to what? Apply it once. The day you figure out a particular signal, right, on the system or from the software, and you traded it and you made profit, it starts building your mind towards how the setup looks like, right? It starts creating this picture of this is what I want to see. Otherwise, I'm not trading. This is what I want to see. And the moment you start having this kind of mindset, it increases your winning and reduces your losses. Because already you are not trading with your emotions here. You are trading with facts that the market or the algorithm has generated, which has worked previously for you, and you believe it's going to work because it is a repetition process. The price keep repeating the same thing every single day in the chart. And anytime it go against you, you can easily figure out what happened. And mind you, the losses will be less, and you believe in the next signal you are going to. So it is not, we are not guaranteeing you that you will always win every trade, but we are assuring you that you will win more of the trades, less losses, and then your mindset will be way broader than before. That you don't even know what is happening on the chart, you don't even know when to enter, and you don't know when to exit. So that is just the main reason why we build softwares like this, to enable traders who are coming up or those who are still finding it to find their way on forex trading or whichever pair you trade. Exactly. But mind you, it's not easy, because if I tell you it's easy to come up with things like this, I'm just capping lie. Yeah, it's a big lie. Those who are already in my sister, my group, they know what I'm saying. So there are days after building, we have to start readjusting. So you see, it's not as funny, it's not as easy as most of you think. Exactly. So you can see that if I eventually got this signal and then I understand what happened on the H1, I may likely try to what? Sell, because I still see some other zones around that H1, which if I check well, you will see other factors that makes you to sell from there. And for the fact that it's around the MTF 76 or 70 level, which is an optimal entry zone, it also increases. In fact, the drop immediately this candle close and it will close within this point. It's a signal that the reversal is going to occur. But in cases like this, you might just cap and then you close immediately. So you can check the pair you know that is suitable for you, that matches your capital, then you start trading. Now, it works on both Forex, both synthetic indices, both crypto. You can see this is another sell signal on crypto. Is it crypto? Yeah, this is crypto because this is BTC USD. So it's giving a sell. PTF, it says it's approaching, so it's a good sell trade because it's around the premium zone, right? It's around the premium zone, and these are kind of scores that you should go for. There's no warning signal that is you be careful, but later you can check. We have a change of character. We didn't see liquidity sweep yet. You can enter with one leg while you are watching the market. And what do we notice again? It's around the MTF key level and LTF. So these kind of trades are something that you can trade, but you have your one eyes open, right? So we can see, and if at all we want to trade it, we can also see where it might possibly reverse from, right? Because we can see that there's a zone there which is from 15 minutes or so. Yeah, from 15 minutes. So you can see where it's selling to. It's coming to retest the middle time frame Fibonacci level 50. So it's very possible price will drop up to this point. So you can see how you put factors together to make your decision. Is that clear? So you can see that there is always advantage to all these things when you understand and you have a good setup system. So this is gold. Okay, currently gold said we should buy, and if you check here, it has a good score, no, moderate score of 60, and the system is warning us that price that say we should buy is at the premium level, that we should not buy, or we should not even try doing. You can see it's telling us that it's at a premium level. There are other factors. In fact, it took out liquidity, has a change of character for buy. Then it's at the New York season or New York section. That means there's still opportunity. There's no coming news, no urgent news coming, but the zone is weak. Now it's telling, okay, it said the zone is weak, so it doesn't have any criteria at that point. It's a weak zone, and that point has been tested before. Can you see it? That point has been tested before. That is why it's showing you yellow buy. You see we have blue buy, yellow buy, red sell, yellow sell. So yellow sell means that place in the history under the saved signal, the system was able to detect that price has once come there before. So the assurance is not that strong, right? Then let's keep you can see every buy it keeps warning you. On every buy it keeps warning you that no, that I shouldn't try to what buy. So let's check if it has a pending sell signal. All the pending signals here are also buy, right? So it is better you ignore this trade because the main thing now is price is at the premium zone, right? It's at the premium zone. So that zone alone itself is a problem. It's a problem, and there's no enough factor for you to push all to. There's no liquidity sweep yet. Okay, it has confirmed liquidity sweep now. So there's possibility price may buy, but the chances are very slim, right? The chances are very slim. So let's even check and see what is happening. Is at a premium level. Is at the premium level. In fact, deep inside the premium level of the highest. Okay, is at the premium level of the H4. I said probably maybe something is happening in the daily. This point is where price should start reversing from. Any change from here now, change of character here, and then you have a sell signal. This one will be more safer, but the factors around it are also somehow. But it's better you look for a good sell once the signal gives you sell than trading this buy. The buy may not go there because it has taken out liquidity. So once price takes out liquidity and then create a reversal, you can drop down to the 50% of the MTF FIBO level before it probably continue buying if at all it wants to be on a buying situation. So, and then for news, they say there's no news, that the road is clear, no news coming. In fact, the the buying factor has increased to 70. You can see, but the zone is the problem, right? The zone is the problem. So in cases like this where you're contemplating what will happen next, you can just ignore. Now you see here we have the status. It tells you number of days that the signal is valid. This one is valid for 57 days. This is almost a month plus. Then it tells you the expiring date. Immediately it expires, everything goes off from your chart. So for those of you who have already paid before now, you get your copies, right? You get your copies. Who has paid though, you get your copies. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested, you can definitely chat me up, right? You can chat me up using my contact. You can use my contact right here at the top here. You can chat me up on WhatsApp. And for you to know that I already have I think I posted, you can see I've been posting the signals in my group recently, right? This was the last one I posted, boom, 600 sale. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.